Yo, it's Liam from Sanctum Squad, and I've got a spicy deck profile that isn't meta, but maybe could be meta. But yeah, here it is.
So, show us this mess then.
50 card good stuff. I'll start off with hand traps, Nibiru. Obviously, don't really need to say a lot about that. Ash actually comes up as an Omnigate and for Purgatrio. Effect Veiler. If we do actually get to play in real life, then we want to stop that needle fiber. And then for like the engines, like I'm going to go through all of this. Like it's a bit weird, so bear with me. But like in theory, like it makes a lot of sense. So triple Alistair and triple Invocation. This is a blind second 50 card deck. So obviously you want to get your normal summon off and then go into some of your fusion cards. Playing also 2 Meltdown to go with it. Next little piece of another engine is Shaddoll. So 1 Beast, 1 Squamata, 1 Dragon and triple Shaddoll Fusion. So because we're blind in second, I think this card is just nuts going seconds. Like obviously you can send all of this stuff, which obviously you can get a draw, pop a spell and trap, and get to summon either a Construct or a Winda, which I just think is nuts. This will come up as well in another little piece of the engine. Obviously 2 Super Poly, because this actually like sort of twins when you play in any kind of fusion deck. And then double Girsu, symbol, and a nice little Orcust package. So the whole like theory craft of this is when you're blind in second and you've got stuff like Shaddoll Fusion, you can send all of this stuff, and obviously like this is going to set up for an OTK basically. That's the whole point of it, and you get to send this stuff for free. So you can do your little bit of fusion stuff, send this stuff, and then start activating this to like actually start getting up to your Borrelsword, etc.
It's quite like difficult to play against as well, because you just don't actually understand what's happening to you when it's all sort of resolving.
Essentially, yeah. So like the whole point of it is to have like all of these mini engines that almost intertwine with each other, so you can just kill them. Or if you, especially with like today's boards, if you can't fully break their board, then you can break down a bit of their board and actually build a board, rather than just having stuff that only tries to kill. Like that's the whole theory behind it anyway.
It gives you sort of like a revenge board almost, doesn't it?
Essentially, yeah. And then to go with the Orcust, we're playing Crescendo, Gizmek Return, because if you open some of these guys, obviously you want to try and draw them, and if you make a Galatea, it's actually nice to actually make a negate if you can't fully kill them. And then obviously Gizmek comes up quite a lot, especially if you've used your Crescendo and you can search for it. And the other sort of OTK enablers is some Mech Knights. So because we're playing Girsu and we're blind in second, but this is how like the engines actually intertwine. Like it makes perfect sense for you to get these big bodies on board, then start searching your Girsu, start sending your stuff. So like they all should sort of like link in together.
I think the Mech Knights sort of just like stick to both the Orcust and the Invoke stuff as well. So it's like it meets them both in the middle in a way.
Exactly, and they're just big beaters. And then once you actually make, say if you make a Borrelsword with these, then you have, you know, if you've already normaled an Alistair, then you've got a lighting grab, you can make your Mechaba, etc, etc. And then for spells, we've got triple desires. Because we're playing 50 cards, we actually want to draw something. And then for another blowout card, we want Storm. So this and Nibiru normally like just ends a board at some point. And then for the one-offs, we've got Foolish Burial to send either a Shaddoll piece or a Orcust piece to get that engine going, and a 1-for-1 for the Orcust Bombard. And obviously you can send whatever you need for maybe your Mechaba, Purgatrio from your hand, etc, etc.
I feel like in a hand where you've got access to the Invoke stuff, the Mech Knight stuff, and then the 1-for-1 for the Bombard, I imagine that's just,
yeah, so like
you snowball like every engine.
Pretty much, yeah. So like obviously like the deck kind of relies on like an Alistair going through, but like if that doesn't happen, like I've seen when I was playing like just Shaddoll or like Shaddoll Invoked, it's like everything just kind of requires on like that fusion happening. And when I'm playing this deck, I want it to actually like get to the point where like if your fusion doesn't resolve, then you have like an actual second line of play, and that's like the whole idea of it. And then for extra deck, so we're going to play 1 Mechaba, 1 Purgatrio and 1 Caliga. Obviously the Purgatrio comes up if you want to kill people, the same with the Mechaba, and if you get sent first you've got like some sort of negate. Same with the Caliga, only 1 monster effect, and when you summon it and have an Alistair in hand, you can only attack with 1 monster, and it's a 28 defense, so this a lot of the time just saves you and then you can start playing again. Staying on line with the fusions, we've got a Construct, double Winda. I think Construct's like okay, but obviously you need to play it, and when you're playing like a lot of lights with Mech Knights, etc., just to get something on board. It's actually rank out for Dingirsu as well, and like a lot of the times if you can't fully kill them, and you know you can do send a lot of your stuff, get some damage on board, maybe make a Galatea, and then if you summon a Winda and Ding protect it as well, like you're in a good spot.
I think with their Construct as well, I think its actual removal effect is really overlooked. It does out quite a few just awkward to kill monsters.
Definitely.
Like Avramax comes to mind, it just blows him off the field.
Yeah, 100% agree. Like if you're playing any kind of Shaddolls, then you need to play it. It's kind of nuts. It's super nuts when you play like the smaller invoked engine, like, and this is kind of semi-pure, because then everything starts like snowballing really fast. But the whole point of this deck is to like kind of chip away at a board, do some damage, or kill them, or do some damage and start making your own board. And then Starving Venom for the Super Poly. Vertigo Anaconda obviously for the fusion spells, kind of nuts, and then mini Orcust package, double Galatea. I played this at 1 obviously just to make a go second engine so you can make this an attack and etc etc, but the second one comes up actually quite a lot.
Especially when you're playing the Crescendo.
Exactly. Almiraj, very underrated, I think it's actually nuts, and then going on with the Lynx, Unicorn, Phoenix, Board Breakers, and then obviously the OTK Killer Machine Sword.
So you don't have like a full side deck at the minute, do you?
No, there's no side deck. Obviously, we've got no major tournaments going on that you can only really play online. So like everything's going to change all the time. But I think depending on how the format pans out, obviously I'll build a side deck that actually like corresponds with it. But at the minute, it's all just sort of theory and.
Yeah, I think it's quite like awkward as well to like build a side deck at the minute because we're in a weird point between Yu-Gi-Oh where the only time you can play is online, and I think that's just bad because
everybody's got the best deck.
Yeah, it's just such an incorrect representation of how the format is compared to how it would be an actual setting.
Yeah, 100% agree. I think like when you actually start playing, you go back to your local tournaments and you actually start playing against, the would-be meta, then obviously you can just make your side deck for that and everything will come into that accordingly. But at the minute it's kind of just like, yeah, could be, should be, maybe.
So this was Liam's hot mess deck profile. Give it a try. It doesn't like on paper look like it even works, to be honest, but
like the theory craft's there. It's probably not the format for it either, but it's a bit of fun. Don't take it too seriously. It's like kind of like all my favourite cards that somehow work all together. But yeah.
And I think the games that you win, it will feel so much better than to be playing a Needle Fiber mess.
I agree. But thanks for watching. Like, comment and subscribe if you want to see some crazy profiles.